Thitu Island clash. A Chinese Coast Guard cutter rammed and water cannoned a Philippine government vessel near Thitu Island. The United States called the action dangerous and destabilizing. Here's what happened and why it matters. On October 12, 2025, a China Coast Guard ship targeted the BRP Datu Pagbuaya, a Philippine Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources vessel, spraying high-pressure water and ramming at close range. The Pagbuaya took minor damage. No injuries were reported. 2 additional Philippine fisheries boats were also hit with water cannons. China claims the Philippine ships illegally entered waters near Sandy Cay. Thitu Island, known in the Philippines as Pag-asa, is a Philippine-occupied, civilian-inhabited outpost in the Spratly Islands, with a small runway and garrison. Nearby Sandy Cay, a set of sandbars, has been a recurring flashpoint where Chinese Coast Guard and Maritime militia routinely shadow or block Philippine movements. The United States publicly condemned the incident and reaffirmed support for Manila. That matters because the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty says armed attacks on Philippine armed forces, public vessels, or aircraft, including the Coast Guard, anywhere in the South China Sea fall under the treaty. This episode probes those thresholds and tests alliance credibility. Beijing's toolkit in the Spratlys often uses gray zone pressure, water cannons, ramming, blocking runs, even acoustic devices. Coercive and risky, but just short of kinetic fire. Fresh footage from this latest clash shows the sequence: spray, then bump, causing structural damage. Each close quarters pass raises the chance of a miscalculation. Short-term risk, repeat confrontations as both sides hold presence around Thitu and Sandy Cay. The worst case is a collision that causes serious injury or loss of life, forcing visible escort operations or joint patrols, and raising the odds of escalation. Strategically, this sits astride sea lanes that underpin trillions in annual trade, so even non-lethal clashes ripple through the wider region. What to watch next? Escorts and patrols. Will the Philippine Coast Guard or Navy start routine escorts for fisheries missions near Thitu? Any announcement of U.S.-Philippines joint patrols in adjacent waters? Force mix. Do larger CCG cutters or maritime militia swarms mass near Sandy Cay? Legal messaging. Does Washington explicitly tie future incidents to MDT obligations in new statements? On-the-ground changes. Any new construction or dredging near Thitu captured by commercial satellite imagery databases like CSIS-AMTI. This isn't a one-off. It's a pressure campaign around a Philippine-held island and a live test of an American alliance. We'll track the next moves so you don't have to. Subscribe to Dominion Risk for verified OSINT, sober escalation analysis, and weekly maritime updates.